Jai Sai Ram. Sri Sai Satcharitra, Chapter 47, Part 1. The story of Veerabhadrappa and Chennabasappa. Snake and Frog. The last chapter described Baba's reminiscence about two goats. This describes more such reminiscence and relates the story of Veerabhadrappa and Chennabasappa. Preliminary. Blessed is the face of Sai. If we cast our glance at him for a moment, he destroys the sorrow of many past births and confers great bliss on us. And if he looks at us with grace, our bondage of karma is immediately snapped away and we are led to happiness. The river Ganges washes away the dirt and sins of all people who go to her for a bath. But she internally longs for the saints to come to her and bless her with their feet and remove all the dirt, sins accumulated in her. She knows for certain that this accumulation can only be removed by the holy feet of the saints. Sai is the crest jewel of the saints. And now hear from him the following purifying story. The snake and the frog. Sai Baba said, one morning, after taking my breakfast, I strolled along till I came to a small river bank. As I was tired, I rested there, washed my hands and feet, and had a bath and felt refreshed. There was a footpath and a cart track sheltered by shady trees. The breeze was also blowing gently. As I was preparing to smoke chillim, the pipe, I heard the croaking of a frog. I was striking the flint and lighting the fire when a traveler turned up, sat by my side, bowed to me, and politely invited me to his house for meals and rest. He lit up the pipe and handed it over to me. The croaking was heard again, and he wanted to know what it was. I told him that a frog was in trouble and was tasting the bitter fruit of its own karma. We have to reap now the fruit of what we sow in our past life, and there is no use in crying about it. Then he smoked and handed over the pipe to me and said that he would go there in person and see for himself. I told him that a frog was caught by a big snake and was crying. Both were very wicked in their past life and were now reaping the fruit of their actions in these bodies. He went out and found that a huge black serpent was holding a big frog in its mouth. He turned to me and said that in about 10 to 12 minutes the frog would be eaten up by the snake. I said, no, this cannot be. I am its father, that is protector, and I am here now. How I shall allow the snake to eat it up? Am I here for nothing? Just see how I release it. After smoking again, we walked on to the place. He was afraid and asked me not to proceed further as the snake might attack us. Not minding him, I went ahead and addressed the creatures thus. O Veerabhadrappa, has not your enemy Basappa yet repented, though he has been born as a frog? And you too, though born as a serpent, still maintain bitter enmity against him? Fie upon you! Be ashamed. Give up your hatred now and rest in peace. Hearing these words, the snake left the frog quickly and dived into the river and disappeared. The frog also jumped away and hid itself in the bushes. The traveler was much surprised. He said that he could not understand how the snake dropped the frog and disappeared at the words uttered. Who was Veerabhadrappa and who was Basappa? Then, and what was the cause of their enmity? I returned with him to the foot of the tree, and after sharing a few puffs of smoke with him, I explained the whole mystery to him as follows. There was an ancient holy place sanctified by a temple of Mahadev about 4 or 5 miles from my place. The temple was old and dilapidated. The residents of the place collected funds for its repairs. After a large amount was collected, arrangement for worship was made and plans for estimates for repairs were prepared. A rich local man was appointed as treasurer and the whole work was entrusted to him. He was to keep regular accounts and be honest in all his dealings. He was a first class miser and spent very little for these repairs, which consequently made very little progress. He spent all funds, swallowed some amount himself, and spent nothing from his pocket. He had a sweet tongue and was very clever in offering plausible explanations regarding the poor and tardy progress of the work. The people again went to him and said that unless he lent his helping hand and tried his best, the work would not be complete. Jai Sai Ram.